Hello students, welcome to this online course of Strength of Materials. So we have started our new chapter, that is shear force bending moment diagram. And in the previous lecture we have seen about what are these forces, like what is axial force, what is shear force, and what is bending moment, and how we are going to decide, like. And also we have seen their sign convention, whether when to take the positive shear, when to take the negative shear, when to take the positive bending moment, and when to take the negative bending moment. So positive bending moment is sagging moment, and negative bending moment is hogging bending moment. So likewise we have discussed these things, and we have also seen the sign and convention. So today we are going to see the relationship between the loading and shear force and bending moment, how these three are correlated, and it will be very much helpful to decide their respective diagrams. So when we are going to draw shear force diagram, so with the help of these equations or these relations, it is very easy to draw them. So let us see the relationship between loads, shear force, and bending moments. So for deriving these equations or these relations, we will be using these three diagrams. Okay, so this is the first diagram, which will be we will be focusing more. So let us see how, like, this is positive shear and positive bending moment is applied on a small segment or a small element which is having a thickness dx and the loading is small q. Okay, and it is a uniformly distributed loading. So we will now obtain some important relationship between loads, shear force, and bending moments in a beam. These relationships are quite useful when investigating the shear forces and bending moment throughout the entire length of a beam, and they are especially helpful when constructing shear force and bending moment diagram. So as I have told you, these will be helpful when we will be plotting these diagrams. As a means of obtaining the relationship, let us consider a small element. So we have taken a small element from, like, randomly from anywhere from the beam, and these two sections are aparted from a distance dx. The thickness of that infinitesimal small element is dx. The load acting on the top surface of the element may be distributed load. So the load can be distributed, concentrated, or a couple. So any three can be possible. Now the sign convention for these loads are: distributed loads and concentrated loads are positive when they act downward on the beam. Okay, so if the direction is downward, then it is positive, and if it is upward, then it will be negative. Okay, so this is the sign convention for distributed load. For basically load, this is the direction. Now we will see, sir, why this is positive in downward direction, because in general on the beams the load will be like vertically downward only. Okay, when you are constructing a building and you are putting a beam, and if you are putting next floor or some more floors over there, then what is going to happen? The force will come from top to bottom, that means in vertically downward direction. So maximum time you will be facing this downward direction, so that's why we are taking it as positive. Now a couple acting as a load on a beam is positive when it is counterclockwise and negative when it is clockwise. So if it is anti-clockwise, then the couple will be positive, and if it is clockwise, then it will be negative. So these are the sign convention which you have to take in mind. Now if other sign convention are used, changes may occur in the signs of the terms appearing in the equation derived in this section. So if you are free to change your direction, you are free to take your own direction. So this is convention only which we will be following to derive such sets of equation. If you will change the direction, the positive will become negative and the negative will become positive for you. So it is up to you. So you are advised to follow any of the sign convention. Okay, so the shear force and the bending moment acting on the sides of element are shown. So you can see, so as I have told you, the positive and negative shear, positive and negative bending moment, we are going to check. In general, the shear forces and bending moments may vary along the axis of the beam. So generally throughout a cross section, bending moment and shear force is constant, but it will vary along the length. What does it mean? Like this, this is your beam. Okay, so if you are cutting here, so at this section, at every point the shear force and bending moment is same, but it will vary along the length of that particular beam. Okay, so we will be checking the variation of shear force and bending moment throughout the section. Now if we are having a small element, if this is the small element, so this, if here it is V, okay, we are considering we are moving from left to right, so at this section it will become V plus dV. Small element will lead to small increment. Okay, similarly M will become M plus dm. So this we have shown in the diagram also. You can check in this diagram. Let me just show you diagram. Sorry. So you can check. So here you can check, this is V at left hand side and V plus dV at right hand side, and couple is M here, and it will become M plus dm. So for a very small length, a small increment is there in the bending moment and shear force. Similarly, if load is there, so it will become a different set of load at V plus V1 and M plus M1 depending upon the loading. Okay, so for each type of loading we can write two equations of equilibrium for the element. So one will be force balance equation and one will be, because every force is in vertical direction only, so for horizontal thing there we will get 0 equal to 0 only. So we will be using summation vertical force is equal to 0 and summation moment at about any point will be 0. So these two equations are we will be going to use. So the first of these equations give the relationship between the load and shear force, and the second will give the relationship between the shear force and bending moment. So this is all we wanted. Now for first we are checking for this distributed load. Okay, so the first we are going to check the relationship between load and the shear force. How we are going to do that? So first equation was what? Taking the force equilibrium. So in vertical direction, force, all the forces will be 0 because there is no horizontal force. So we will be having only single equation. So in for writing this equation, you can have like one direction should be positive and the different direction will be negative. Here it is not like plus, or vertical is plus and downward is minus. It is not like that. It is equation of statics. So here sign convention you are free to use. So vertical forces are what? So this is, we are taking upward positive, V is there, this is downwards, and Q is distributed load. So we will multiply by the length, that is dx, Q dx, minus what is the other force? This is V plus dV, which is in downward direction. So downward direction Q and V plus dV will be subtracted from this value and it will be equal to 0. So we will get cancel out and you will get dV by dx. So the rate of change of shear force dV by dx is constant and it is equal to the loading. So it is very interesting relation, like the and negative sign, it means if like Q is upward then it will be positive, Q is downward then it will be negative. For most of the cases you are having the downward load, then you will be using dV by dx as minus Q, or whatever is the load intensity. If W is there, so it will be W. Generally we use W, but for this we are using Q. So from this equation we can see the rate of change of shear force at any point on the axis of the beam is equal to negative of the intensity of distributed load at that same point. If the sign convention of for distributed load is reversed, so that Q is positive upward instead of downward, then the minus sign is omitted in the preceding equation. So this is very important relation. So from this equation you will find the questions in GATE and ESE like very frequently. So if what we can like infer from here, if loading diagram is, if Q is linear, okay, so dV by dx, that means we have to reduce 1 degree, so it will be 0, that is constant, so it will be a straight line, a flat line. If it is 2 degree, so dV by dx will become 1 degree, that means linear. So whatever is the loading diagram, the shear force will be 1 degree ahead. Why? Because for shear force what we will be doing, dV will be integral Q into dx. So if Q is having n degree, Q is varying by n degree curve, so shear force will be varying by 2 degree course. Okay, so if Q is n degrees, so what will be V? V will be n plus 1, n plus 1 degree. So this is interesting. So if like for UDL, that means for linear variation, the shear force will vary by what? By cubic is quadratic equation, like 2 degree equation. So we will see in the questions, but just now I am giving you some insights. So for instance, if there is no distributed load on the segment, that means what? Q is 0, that is dV by dx is 0. For if loading, like for concentrated load, apart from that loading section, the shear force will be constant. If loading is 0, intensity is 0, that means what? Q is 0. Q is 0 means dV by dx is 0. That means it is some constant. Then only it is not varying. Okay, so V is constant in terms of x, so it will be, if we are differentiating it, then it is giving us a result as 0. So the shear force diagram will be constant. The shear force will be constant toward that section. What we can also do, we can calculate the shear force value by using this equation. So if you are integrating from a to b, so what you will get? Minus of q into dx. So this area of loading curve between a to b will give you the difference between the shear force. So this will become what? Vb minus Va. So this is not the shear force, this is the difference between shear force in those two sections. So if you want to calculate at a particular section, let us say B, so the A point should be chosen as shear force is 0 at that point, so you will directly get the value of Vb. Okay, so this is quite interesting. And so the left hand side equation is given by Vb minus Va. So the integral of the right hand side represents the area of loading diagram between A and B, which in turn is equal to the magnitude of resultant of the distributed load acting between point A and B. So this is given by this equation, we can calculate. Okay, so Vb minus Va is what? Minus of integral A to B q dx. So it is area of loading diagram between A and B. So in other words, what we can say, the change in the shear force between 2 points along the axis of the beam is equal to the negative of the total area between those 2 points. The area of loading diagram may be positive if Q is downward or negative if Q is upward, depending upon the direction. So the subjected to only distributed load. So this equation is used only for distributed loads. You have to be very clear. If load the concentrated load or couple is there, then you can not be able to use it. Okay, so let us move to our second thing, that is the bending moment. So how bending moment and shear force are related, that we are going to see. Now same we are going to do, and we will be taking the moments of all the forces about any point. So summation m is 0 about any point you can take. So let us say we are taking about this point. Okay, this side. So minus m, this is minus m because it is clockwise, minus q into dx into dx by 2, and minus v plus dv into dx. So this is also clockwise, so this is minus, this is also clockwise. Q will give a clockwise moment, so this will be minus. This v plus dv will also give a clockwise moment, so this is minus. But this m plus dm will be give you a positive anti-clockwise. So here you can see this is positive. So after solving this, you can see, no, this is not the case. You will be seeing the dm by dx as v. Okay, if like we are neglecting dx into dx square by 2, so this we will neglect. Okay, dv into dx also we will neglect. After neglecting all the like multiplication of smaller quantities, you will be getting dm by dx as v. That means the rate of change of bending moment is given by the shear force in that particular section. Okay, the rate of change of bending moment at any point on the axis of a beam is equal to the shear force at that same point. If the shear force is 0, what will become the bending moment is constant. Dm by dx will be 0, so m will be constant. Okay, so these two relations are very very important. Same way we can say that if we want to take the difference, like if we are integrating between these two sections, what we will be getting? We will be getting my mb minus ma is equal to minus times a, I think this is plus, this is not minus, area of shear force, this is plus, okay, not minus. So mb minus ma, so difference of bending moment between two sections is given by the area of shear force between those two sections. So let us say this is a and this is b. Okay, so this is some like shear force is this, so bending moment between these two is area of this particular curve. Okay, so in this way you can calculate the bending moment, you can relate the bending moment and shear force. So this is the relationship between these three quantities. In the next lecture we will be starting the numerical part. So this is all for today, and tomorrow is your examination, so best of luck for your examination. Thank you.